My name's Irv Zamikoff, and I'm going to be the MC for tonight. Just a couple of things just to let you know. If it's a little too dark, we have some flashlights. Teresa's walking around with a little basket. You're welcome to use them. And when they're done, we'll just leave the basket up here. Just deposit in the basket. If you absolutely need to have a flashlight at home, then take it home with you. Okay? Okay. Also, we have some hot coffee and some hot chocolate and some cookies. So just help yourself either now or afterwards. Okay, got everything. Okay. When we do our singing, if you know the songs, you're more than welcome to join in. We'd love to have you all join in. And all the songs that we're going to do, with the exception of the first one the choir is going to sing, is in the little booklet. And Cantor Allen, before he starts a song, will just tell you which song, and you can hunt it down or go by the page number. Okay, so to start with, I'd like to introduce Dr. Lois Gerber, the president of Temple Beth-El, just to give a warm welcome. That'll be followed by Rabbi Harold Kamminker.
Stop, please. Save your energy. Welcome. This is the 5th time we've gotten together. It's not the coldest. It's not the warmest, but it is dry. We're really glad you all came. This is kind of a fun thing to do, and it's with all the lights around, it's very festive, and we need to be festive. Okay, so let's be festive. It's Chanukah. It's a wonderful time. I have in my office in my school my menorah and my Star of David. It makes me feel good. And I know that it makes us feel good when we can get together near Tamid and Temple Beth-El and all of our friends. And some friends that come every year, so it's nice to see you at least this time of year. Now, my job is to say, welcome, I've said it. And it's also to introduce to you our rabbi, who has, well, not the ugliest sweater on, but you know. However, I want to, he's been with us now for 5 years. All right. Now, I was going to say something nice, but I changed my mind. And for those of you who are not Jewish, I know that you have an elf on the shelf. But I want to tell you something. Our rabbi is the mensch on the bench. And he's going to come up and give us a little rabbinical talk from the Talmud. Or the Midrash, whatever, okay? But please welcome our rabbi, Rabbi Mensch on the bench. Oh, there it is. That really is a nice-looking sweater.
How sweet of you.
All right.
Did you hear what Lois just said? She said that really is a nice-looking sweater. So in case you haven't seen it yet,
Isn't that bright yellow and red?
thank you, Lois, for your very kind words. I have a few thoughts about this festival that we're celebrating, that tonight we're the third night celebrating. The late Jewish sociologist Dr. Marshall Sklar once mentioned that certain Jewish holidays had to have certain qualities in order to be successful here in America. They had to be infrequently observed. They had to be translatable into an American context, and they had to be child and family oriented. Hanukkah, with its focus on religious freedom, was a big winner. That said, for a successful holiday, there are still many things American Jews don't know about Hanukkah, likewise for our neighbors. If they did, they would find it even more interesting and compelling. So here tonight are 8 Hanukkah factoids, one for each night. Number 1, what miracle of oil? The standard explanation of the Hanukkah story. The Maccabees were dedicating the temple in Jerusalem, which the Greek Syrians had desecrated, and they found a jar of oil sufficient for only one night, yet it lasted for 8 nights. Well, that may never have happened. I know. In the book of Maccabees, there is no mention of an oil shortage. The story does not appear until a rather offhand mention of Hanukkah in the Talmud about 600 years later. So we really don't know if that ever happened or not, but don't tell the kids and the grandkids. Number 2, Sukkot. Better late than never. Sukkot is our festival of tabernacles, usually celebrated in October. If the oil story is not true, so why did the Jews celebrate rededicating the temple for 8 days? Because they had been too busy fighting the Syrians in the autumn, and they had not celebrated the 8-day festival of Sukkot, which falls earlier in the year. Some people say Hanukkah was actually a celebration of Sukkot. Number 3, the Maccabees got gypped. The original account of the Maccabean revolt appears in the book of Maccabees, not in the Hebrew Bible, also known as the Old Testament. Some people call it that, though they do appear in some versions of the Apocrypha as well as Catholic Bibles. Why didn't the Maccabean revolt make it into the Jewish Bible? One reason: our ancient sages who compiled the Bible thought the Hanukkah story was too violent. Plus, for their own political and religious reasons, they weren't crazy about the legacy of the Maccabees. That's true. Number 4. Need a drum roll. Judah Maccabee did, however, make it into West Point. Judah Maccabee was a brilliant military strategist. So brilliant, there is a statue of Judah Maccabee at West Point. Raise your hand if you've seen it. Okay. Not only that, well, it's there. The Maccabees were such religiously committed warriors that during the Middle Ages, they actually became the role models for Christian knights. Number 5, Stephen King, take note. During the Middle Ages, people loved to dramatize the story of the Maccabees in gory theatrical productions. They were so gory, they had to invent a new word to describe them, and the word they invented was macabre. Yep, comes from the word Maccabee. You got it. Mel Gibson apparently wants to make a movie now about the Maccabees. That is a definition of macabre. Finally, how many of you remember Hans and Franz from Saturday Night Live? We will pump you up. So this is We want to pump Jew up. Jewish men, having remained indoors studying Talmud, having no way to develop their bodies other than lifting Torah scrolls, which, by the way, isn't bad, along came early Zionism and the early Zionist thinkers, and they were tired of scrawny Jewish guys whose lunch money was being stolen by anti-Semites in school. Max Nordau, in particular, one of the first Zionists, decided that Jews should become committed to bodybuilding and athletics. He wanted a muscular Judaism, and that is how we got the Maccabeah, the Maccabee Games. Today, an international athletic competition, the Jewish Olympics, which enshrines the name of the ancient fighters, the Maccabees, who were real men. Number 7, it's a Zionist thing. American Jews have observed Hanukkah in some fashion since the time of first coming to the United States. It was a nice holiday, but in the last century, it has become much more important than just a nice holiday. Why is that? Is it simply the gifts and the proximity to Christmas? Actually, no. We can trace the renewed popularity of Hanukkah to the creation of the modern state of Israel. Israel celebrated Jewish valor and survival, and thus elevated Hanukkah from its position as a minor festival into something bigger and more important. And finally, number 8, it may be the most important holiday in the Western world. Yep, that's Hanukkah. How come? Had the Maccabees lost the battle to the forces of Hellenism, Judaism would have vanished, along with a bunch of other ancient Middle Eastern religions. Had the Jews disappeared in 165 BCE, there would have been no Jesus of Nazareth, no Christianity, no Islam either. We might all be wearing togas now, and moussaka might be the national American dish. Tell that to your friends. Hanukkah, the Rodney Dangerfield of Jewish holidays, no more. Let's show Hanukkah some respect.
Thank you, Rabbi. And I'm glad you know there are only 8 nights. Okay. Okay. The next, I'm going to have Betty Klein come up and give us a little bit of the history of the Hanukkah celebration. And, you know, they say powerful things come in little packages. I think they said that based on this lady. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone, and we hope you enjoy yourself the whole time and all through the holiday. Okay. About 200 BCE, Israel was a state in the Seleucid Empire, an empire ruled under Greek law under the overall charge of the king of Syria. However, they could follow their own religion and its practices. In 171 BCE, there was a new king called Antiochus IV. And he also, let me correct that, Antiochus, thank you. Okay. Who also called himself Antiochus Epiphanes, which means Antiochus, the visible God. Antiochus wanted all the empire to follow Greek ways of life and wanted all the people to give up what they believed in. The Greek religion with all its gods and to follow Greek ways and the Greek way of life. And there were some Jews who wanted to be more like the Greeks, but most wanted to stay Jewish. The brother of the Jewish high priest wanted to be more Greek, so he bribed Antiochus so he would become the new high priest. And of course, instead of his brother, Anat, he then became the priest, and he also had his brother killed. 3 years later, another man bribed Antiochus even more to let him become the high priest. He paid him with his bribe from stolen items made of gold that was used in the Jewish temple. On his way home, Antiochus had just come back from a war that he had to retreat from the battle. Antiochus stopped in Jerusalem, and he let out all his anger on the city and the Jewish people. He ordered houses to be burnt down, and tens of thousands of the Jews were killed or put into slavery. Antiochus then went to attack the Jewish temple, the most important building in Israel to the Jews. The Syrian soldiers took all the treasures out of the temple, and on the 15th of Kislev, 168 BCE, Antiochus put up a statue of the Greek god Zeus in the center of the Jewish temple, but it had the face of Antiochus. Then, on the 25th of Kislev, he desecrated the most holy place in the temple and destroyed the Jewish holy scrolls. Antiochus then banned practicing the Jewish faith and religion. If you were found out, you and all your family were killed. And he also then made the temple into a shrine to Zeus. There were many Jews killed for their faith, but soon afterward, a Jewish rebellion started. It began when a former Jewish priest called Matthias was forced to make an offering to Zeus in his village. He refused to do so and killed a Syrian soldier. Mattathias' sons joined him and killed the other soldiers in the village. Mattathias was an old man and died soon after. But his son, Judah, then took charge of the freedom fighters. Judah's nickname was Maccabee, which is the Hebrew word for hammer. He and his troops lived in caves and fought an underground war for 3 years. They then met the Syrians in an open battle and defeated them. When they got back to Jerusalem, the temple was in ruins, and the statue of Zeus, Antiochus, was still standing. They cleaned the temple, they rebuilt the Jewish altar, and on the 25th of Kislev, 165 BCE, exactly 3 years after the statue was put up, the altar was dedicated to God. There are several theories why Hanukkah is celebrated for 8 nights. Legend says that when Judah and his followers went into the temple, there was only enough oil to burn for 1 night, but that it miraculously burnt for 8 nights. And that is why we are here tonight to celebrate. If Judah, just as the rabbi said, did not defeat the Syrians, there would be no longer a Jewish people. And thank God it happened that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty. I've always wondered why the name Antiochus sounds so much like Tuchus. Now I think I know. Okay. Okay. Next, I'd like to introduce the choir from First United Methodist Church. And I want to tell you something about this church. As many of you know, my wife is Christian and is a member of the church. And it's a lovely church. If you really want to go hear a nice service under Pastor Adam Zale and listen to a choir, and it's just beautiful with a beautiful organ. And I have to tell you that after we participated there for a number of years, I got a call one time, and they were, I guess, making up their roster for the church. And they called and they asked me if I would mind being put down as a member. And I can't tell you how warm that made me feel. So thank you, First United Methodist Church. They're very, very lovely people and very, very warm, and I highly recommend it. Okay, so the first song that the choir is going to sing, they're going to sing our opening song, and then they're going to sing the last 2 songs of the night. The first one is called Light These Lights, and it was written by Debbie Friedman. And in the middle of the song, the cantor and my wife Cindy are going to come forward, and they're going to go ahead and do the 3 blessings for Hanukkah. And if you want to sing along with them, please do. So I'll turn it over to the choir director, Jim Culver. It's all yours.
Mercy ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzimanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim laboteinu ve'imoteinu bayamim ahem bazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'eheyanu v'kiyemanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen.
Thank you. That was absolutely beautiful. You know, at Passover, one of the children will say, "Why is this night different?" Well, tonight's going to be different for me because I no longer will go to bed hearing Cindy practicing the blessings and hearing the dogs running around. Okay. So I'd like to call up Neil Clark, who's going to go ahead and introduce the candle lighters and tell us a little bit about the shamas, which is the candle that's at the, I guess the dogs still are barking. They're, okay. Okay, I'll turn this over to Neil. He'll take us through the lighting. We cannot electronically just do one candle at a time, so we have them all lit, but we'll just imagine that we're lighting them individually.
Okay. As you can see behind me is the Chanukah, and the Chanukah is full. 9 lights will shine from it. 8 of the lights stand in a sort of counter symbolizing which night of Hanukkah is being celebrated. There is 1 extra candle lit for every night of the Chanukah. This is the shamash. That's me, the little guy in the top. Or in the old translation, it's the sexton, okay? The purpose of the shamash. Since these lights commemorate a holy miracle event, they are not to be used for normal household needs. Obviously, keeping this restriction was more of a challenge before the availability of the electric light. Since not one of the 8 Chanukah lights may be used or for pedestrian task of lighting another candle, how do the Chanukah candles get lit? That's where the shamash comes in, and it is he that lights the rest of the candles. And the way that is done, you take the shamash, or she, okay, or she goes over and lights after each night the candles that need to be lit. He's set apart from the others on the Chanukah and is placed on either side, either on either side or in the middle, okay, of the menorah, okay? At this time, I'd like to introduce Joy Yellen, who is going to be the first night person. She's part of our Shabbat Live music group.
Blessed is the eternal, our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and who commands us to kindle the Chanukah lights.
The second night's light, will be from Gene and Jonas Ellis. Gene oversees the office, and Jonas is a board member at large. What'd you think, guys?
The second candle is the light of Torah. Our Torah has brought learning and truth to the whole Western world. Your commandment is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path, teaches our Bible.
The third night will be lit by Sheila Kowalski, who is our sisterhood president.
The candle is the light of justice. No nation shall endure which is unjust, whether for the strong or for the weak. One of Moses' greatest teachings is justice. Justice shall you pursue.
The fourth night will have Susie Konikoff, who is our education director and also a board member.
The fourth candle is the light of mercy. Hard to read. Cruelty hardens the heart and destroys friendship. Do justice, love mercy was a teaching of Micah the prophet.
Too late. The fifth night will be done by Marlena Johnsky, who is our office volunteer, and she also does all of our onyx. Do you need the light?
I think I can see it. Thank you. This candle is the light of holiness. Purity of thought, nobility of action, make all of life sacred. Our challenge is to rise to the highest ideal as expressed in the Torah. You shall be holy, for I, Adonai, am holy. Your God, am holy.
The sixth night will be with Judy and Barry Furman. Judy is in charge of our social activities.
The sixth candle is the light of love. When love, which family gives us, makes our life beautiful, we learn to appreciate the biblical words. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might.
The seventh night is being done by Zed Kessner, who's on the executive board and is a recording secretary.
And lady, she's the silent partner. This is the candle of calm light of patience. Nothing valuable can be achieved in haste. The spreading tree and the human soul grows slowly. And so King David sang, "Trust in God, wait patiently for God."
The eighth night will be by Leonard Schlain, who is our membership chairperson.
The last candle is the light of courage. Let truth and justice be our armor, and we will not fear Judah Maccabee. The hero of Chanukah lived by the words which Moses spoke to Joshua, and which his panther said to him, "Be strong and good of courage. Chazak v'amatz." Thank you.
And now we come to the fun part where we can do a little bit of singing. So I'd like to call our cantor back up to lead us in the singing. And all the songs we're going to do are in the little handout that you have. And cantor, if you maybe just tell them what page you're on and what song you're going to do, and whether you want to do it yourself or whether you want us to join in. I think we all want to join in as much as we can. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we want to start with Rock of Ages, which is on page 6 in your booklet. We'll do it in Hebrew and then we'll do it in English. And please, everyone, join in. Thank you. Ma'otzu Yeshuati L'chana El Shabeach Tikon Beit Tefilati V'sham Toda Nizabeach Le'tachin Matbeach Mitorah nabeach Az egmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah hamizbeach Az egmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah hamizbeach Children of the Maccabees, whether free or fettered, wake the echoes of the songs where you may be scattered. Yours the message cheering that the day is nearing, which will see all go free, tyrants disappearing, which will see all go free, tyrants disappearing. And now the next one right underneath, Mi Yamalel, who can retell? Mi Yamalel Gvurot Yisrael Otan Mi Yimne Hen Bechodor Yakun Hagibor Goel Ham Shema Bayamim Ahem Bazman Hazeh Maccabi Moshiach Ufodeh Uvyamenu Kol Am Yisrael Yidached Yakun Higael. Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age a hero or sage came to our aid. Hear, in days of yore in Israel's ancient land. Brave Maccabeus led the faithful band, but now all Israel must as one arise, redeem itself through prayer and sacrifice. Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age a hero or sage came to our aid. And on the next page we have O Chanukah. And we have it in English and in Yiddish. O Chanukah, light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, I'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oy Chanukah, Yonta Vashener, a lustiger, a freilicher, Nerton, Chazoiner, alle Nacht in Dredel spielen mir, südig heiße Latkes essen mir, geschwinder sind Kinder, die nicker lichteglich an. Sog all Hanisim, läuft Gott vor die Nisim und kommt Gicher tanzen in Korn. Sagt all Hanisim, läuft Gott vor die Nisim und kommt Gicher tanzen in Korn. And the last song before we leave, or is there anything else after this? Okay. Okay, we're going to do the dreidel song. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Oh, dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body, with legs so short and thin, and when it gets all tired, it drops and then I win. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Oh, dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play. My dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel, come play now, let's begin. Oi, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. Oh, dreidel, 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 oh, I shall play. Very good. Oh, you're quite welcome. That was fun.
Thank you, Cantor. That was a lot of fun. Just before some closing words and then a few more songs by the choir, the rabbi has a short, very short, little piece that he'd like to go ahead and do.
This is a story from our tradition, from the Talmud. It's a little gift for you on the topic of wisdom. A professional bird catcher once caught a very special bird. This extraordinary creature understood and spoke many languages. Set me free, and I'll teach you 3 lessons that will guide you to a meaningful and prosperous life, said the bird. Tell the teachings to me first, and then I'll let you go, said the man. I will, the bird bargained. If you swear an oath, you will let me go. I swear, said the hunter. The bird then spoke these words. Listen carefully and remember my teachings. First, never regret what has already happened. Second, do not believe that which is clearly incredible. And third, never try to achieve that which is unattainable. The man, true to his word, let the bird go. Immediately the bird flew to the tallest branch of the tallest tree and mocked the bird catcher. Foolish man, you let go the most valuable creature on earth. In the center of my heart lies a perfect diamond worth a king's fortune, which has made me wise and would have made you the wisest of all people. The man, filled with anger and regret, leapt onto the tree and began to furiously climb higher and higher. Suddenly he lost his grip and fell on the rocks below. Broken and bleeding, he lay moaning. The bird laughed. "Silly man, just a moment after I shared wisdom with you, you forgot it all and ignored my words. You regretted the past act of letting me go. You believed a fairy tale about a diamond in my heart, even though you know that's impossible. And finally, you climbed a tree to catch a bird who can soar in the heavens at any given moment. Remember what you learned the hard way today, and my promise to you will come true. You will live a meaningful and prosperous life."
Thank you, Rabbi. Tomorrow night at our temple, we're having our Hanukkah party at the temple where everyone brings their Hanukkah, and we all light them all the same time. And we have a whole lot of singing with our choir and music, so it's a real fun night, and everyone's welcome to come. And we've had a great turnout here tonight, and I hope we do again tomorrow. I'd like to thank METV and the city of Bradenton for allowing us to put this on, and METV is just terrific to work with. They did a one, and Charles Clapsaddle, thank you so much for that. And I'd like to thank all the people who are participating, and a special thanks to the choir who we're going to hear in just a minute, and to Jim Culver, the director, and to Joy Yellen for allowing us to use her keyboard. And thank all of you for coming out. I think we have probably close to 150 people here tonight, which is wonderful. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Jim Culver, and I just want to point out that the song we chose for the last one was Shalom Chavarim, which means peace, friends, until we meet again, which I think they're beautiful words for all of us to share.
Special Lord, miracle of God. One special light glows in the darkness, shining from the candle on this special night. Long ago we were in hiding, no one could peace, living in despair. But in our pain, God in His mercy rescued us from danger for the desert life. On the victor singing, every girl and boy. On this night we are bringing songs of gladness and joy. One special night now is beginning. One special night, miracle of God. One special light, God's and a midnight, shining in the candle on this special night. On this night we're singing, every girl and boy. On this night we are bringing songs of gladness and joy. One special night now just beginning. One special Lord, miracle of God. One special night, God's unending, shining from the candle on the special night. One special night, one special Lord, one special night, one special light.
You all know this next one. Join in with us. We're going to do it 4 times, the first time all together and the third time in a round. And let's divide choir as we had before. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Okay?
Shalom. Shalom, Chaverim, Shalom, Chaverim, Shalom, Shalom, Lehitraot, Lehitraot, Shalom, 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 Chaverim, Shalom, Chaverim, Shalom, Shalom, Lehitraot, Lehitraot, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom.
Thank you all, and please don't forget we have coffee and hot chocolate. I hate to have my wife have to carry it all home. Okay, and good night, and hope to see you all tomorrow night. And happy Hanukkah, everyone.